Hey guys, it's midnight again, and welcome back to Rotting Flesh Movie Reviews. I'm your host, Billy Pop, doing this for the second time because I deleted my first perfect fucking take. Fuck me. Well, anyways, tonight we're taking a look at the 2009 director's cut of the Rob Zombie sequel to his original Halloween, made in 2000. Oh yeah, I already said that. 2009. The movie, once again, stars Scout Taylor Compton as Laurie Strode. We've got Malcolm McDowell back as Dr. Loomis. We've got Danielle Harris back as Annie, so she's not dead. Brad Dourif is back to play Sheriff Brackett. Tyler Mane is back to play Michael Myers. And we get a couple cameos that are kind of nice. I might have missed a few, but we get Margot Kidder, who from Amityville Horror fame. She plays Laurie's psychiatrist. And we get a little cameo from Weird Al, just playing himself. And, you know, who doesn't love Weird Al Yankovic? That guy's fucking legendary, man. So anyway, our movie opens, it's pretty cheesy. Michael's mom shows up at the asylum. This is taking place when he's a kid. And she shows up, they get a different kid playing young Michael, which sucks because this kid not only doesn't look like the original Michael, but he also he's kind of a bad actor. Anyway, she shows up and brings him a white horse, and he goes on about by the way, I mean a toy white horse, not a real one. But he goes on about a dream he had about a white horse, her being a ghost, and yada yada. Very deep. We get a very long opening scene for the first part of the movie. Seems like the movie is legitimately going to take place directly after the first movie. It also seemed as though Rob was going to just make it like the 81 sequel and have it, the setting be a hospital. But it turns out to be a dream sequence, which this movie is full of, I'm going to say right off the back. By the way, if you think the dialogue got less gross than Rob's first Halloween movie, you couldn't be more wrong. Anyways, however, I choose to believe lots of the dream actually happened, mainly because most of it seems like the reality of what might have happened after the last one. There's certain scenes that don't jive with that theory, but screw it. Basically anything with Michael being at the hospital is not real in my mind, but I feel like the rest of it could have happened. Anyways, when Laurie wakes up from this dream, it's actually 2 years later, and she's no longer the bubbly teen she was in the first movie. She now lives with Sheriff Brackett and Annie, and her and Annie don't seem to be as chummy as in the first movie, and Laurie's more of a rebellious rocker chick, which kind of makes sense. I've met girls that have been through trauma back in high school, and they kind of went the same way. She's seeing a psychiatrist and working at a pretty cool record store. It seems as though Laurie's redneck asshole roots finally come out in this one. She definitely swears a lot. We even get, once again, a breakfast scene. This time it's her and Annie, but once again, every other word is fuck. And when I say that this movie continues with the disgusting language that the first one put out there, this one, there's a scene where Richard Brake, I'm not going to say what happens, other than he's about to die, and the whole time he's like, fuck, 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 and you're just like, holy shit, man, like, ooh, calm the fuck down. Anyway, Dr. Loomis has certainly changed. He's making money off of his books about the Myers murders, and turned into kind of a celebrity d-bag. In his new book, he gives the news that Laurie is actually Michael's sister, Angel Myers, and Laurie finds out and kind of goes mental. By the way, I guess I should probably mention Michael's body was missing as well after the first movie, so nobody knows if he's actually dead. Everyone just kind of assumes he is, which is kind of silly. But he's not dead, of course. He now lives the life of a hobo with psychosis, and his child self, he and his child self follow his ghost mom around along with a white horse. He only wears the mask when he wants to kill somebody. So, by the way, you know, people hate it when dogs die in horror movies. Well, Michael guts one and starts eating it raw. So yeah, that happens. And man, he hallucinates some shit. I think he's been snacking on some of the local mushrooms. It's pretty. Some of the shit he sees is very music video-ish, but that kind of comes with the Rob Zombie territory. Also, does anyone find it odd that Laurie has a poster of Charles Manson on her wall? It doesn't seem like something a person with her kind of post-traumatic stress would have. Well, anyway, eventually Laurie starts having visions, and I don't want to say hallucinations because she kind of fantasizes about being Michael, like when he's young, killing Annie in the same way he killed his stepfather in the first movie. So yeah, I don't know. I can't really tell, but there's also a pretty cool scene where Michael goes and takes revenge on the strip club his mom used to work at. It doesn't really progress the story, but it is pretty awesome. It's probably one of my favorite parts of the movie, actually. So anyway, Laurie and her hot rocker chick friends go to a really epic Halloween party with a sick band called Captain Clegg and the Night Creatures. They're great. Michael ends up finally finishing off Annie. He shows up, and you only hear like flashes of her getting killed, and then you get to see the aftermath, and it's pretty fucking gnarly. Brad Dourif gets called to his house to find her. Sorry, Sheriff Brackett, I guess. And his performance, like Brad Dourif's performance, is heart-wrenching. It might be the best he's ever acted. It was really, really intense, and I legitimately was moved. Anyway. Meanwhile, Laurie's friends are all dead, and she's running from Michael Myers because she's the first one who sees Annie. Like when she shows up from her party, and Annie's fucked. And eventually, Michael takes Laurie to a shed where he basically has a standoff with the police. I don't think anyone in the shed knows that's what's happening. They all seem like they're hallucinating pretty hard. Laurie is now fully seeing what Michael sees. Loomis goes to help, trying to get some good karma on his side, but he's been such a douchebag and did so many shitty things, Sheriff Brackett just punches him and tells him to fuck off. But Loomis runs into the insanity that lives in the shed. Michael pretty much... His mom's like, hey, Michael, take us home or something. And Michael just busts through the shed with Loomis in his hand, screams, died, finally kills him, afterward immediately being gunned down by a firing squad. Laurie walks out of the shed as well, picks up Michael's knife, looks down at Loomis, and then just gets shot herself. Love Hurts plays again. Now, see the significance? I told you that was significant in the first movie. In this one, I have no clue what the significance is, but it's there nonetheless. At the closing scene, I guess she's in some sort of heaven or purgatory or hell or something. She now lives in a white cubicle with her mom and a white horse. And she's happy, I guess, I think. I'm not sure. They're like, love hurts. So, yeah, maybe she's like, this hurts, but I love it. Or, I don't know. Yes, I love it. Anyways, this was a Rob Zombie movie. There's nothing wrong with that. I think this time he felt comfortable doing what he wanted to do. And it shows. I mean, the first one I compared a little to Devil's Rejects. This one feels a little more like House of a Thousand Corpses. It's got a little more of a music video type vibe to it, and I really think it looks good. Yeah, it does have the grindhousey feel for sure. Just maybe a little more. I don't know how to put it. It's got the grindhouse feel like he always does, but it just feels a little more like a legitimate movie that is original, if that makes any sense. Scout Taylor Compton does a really good job. She has to play a different version of Laurie this time. Less bubbly, more pissed off, to the point of being annoying, though. Like, she screams in almost every scene, and it's kind of fucking irritating, especially when she wants to go partying because she finds out she's Angel Myers. She's like, I want. You've ever wanted to party? Because you sound like you're crazy. You sound like you've never had a drink before. And when she does get drunk, holy shit, is it so annoying. Tyler Mane as Michael Myers is just as intimidating as in the first one, if not slightly more intimidating. There's a scene where he's stabbing a nurse, and he's like, "Rah, rah, rah," and giving him that vocal thing kind of fucking makes him scarier, actually. It makes him, like, when he slams that knife down, it feels like he's chopping wood or something, but, like, the hardest he's ever chopped wood in his life. Malcolm McDowell, of course, changes a little bit in this one, and I think it was a good idea, and I think he did a really good job. There was a scene where he's talking to his assistant or management or something. I think it was his assistant outside of the Myers house, and that part of it seemed a little bit forced, but other than that, Malcolm McDowell gave a definitely good performance. Brad Dourif got a lot more to do in this one as Sheriff Brackett, and I think he pulled it off splendidly. I think Brad Dourif is a fucking treasure. The more I see that guy act, the more impressed I am. Like, I can't believe he's Chucky, just based on the fact that he's such a good actor. I don't know that I'm not. The Chucky movies aren't exactly like fucking classy, you know what I mean? So anyway, Yeah, Brad Dourif's amazing in this. Danielle Harris just kind of the same as in the first one, so nothing much to say about her really. Uh, Music was mostly old rock tunes. That's classic. See, that made it feel even more like a real Rob Zombie movie. They didn't use the Halloween theme, I don't think, at all in this. But I did hear the MC5 kick up the jams, motherfucker. You know, we got Nights in White Satin by the Moody Blues, Eye Against Eye by Bad Brains. So those are all great fucking songs. Some maybe the Moody Blues, not so much for some people, but I dig that tune. The effects are better than the first movie. I don't know if that's where all the budget went, but the kills in this were fucking pretty intense, and they were in the first one too. But this one, they got, I don't know, they were a little more original and a little more just brutal, like a little more brutal. The rating was interesting. At times, it was silly. The dialogue is what we come to expect from a Rob Zombie movie. It's not always clear what's going on with Laurie either. I think she's probably insane, but why her and Michael are hallucinating the exact same stuff is kind of confusing. I don't really understand that part of the movie. I would like Rob to explain this, but he probably never will. Liked how they made Loomis change, of course, as a character, and Brad Dourif was utilized better. So yeah, the writing here was kind of it's trying to be ambiguous, I think, in a lot of ways. And if you know why you're being deep but no one else can figure it out, I don't know if that's actually deep or not. I guess maybe it's deeper than the people may think it is. I'm not sure. But either way, I like this one. It's not my favorite, but it deserves a 7 out of 10, which is what I gave the first movie. The difference is that this was an original idea, and if anything, Rob tried something different, and to me, it's like a stronger 7. Maybe give it a 7.3, which I don't normally give extra little points. Like, I usually go 7.5 or whatever, but this is just a really strong 7 for me. And honestly, it's definitely worth a watch. It's not going to impress anybody that's a true Halloween aficionado that's been watching them since they were kids. But I mean, honestly, can you say it's the worst? Like, these movies they've gone all over the fucking place. Like, you can't tell me at all that Rob Zombie's movies are the worst in the fucking franchise. Like, in my opinion, they're not. They're not the worst. There's no fucking way they're the worst. I mean, they could be near the end for some people, but I'm sorry. But I mean, Halloween 5, I gave it a high rating compared to what you thought I would do, probably. But the whole thing is that movie's like a beautiful dumpster fire. There's something entertaining about that movie, but it's not good. Like, not even fucking close. So, anyways, guys, thanks for listening to Rotting Flesh Movie Reviews, and I will see you next time. Thanks for sticking with me, dudes. Bye.
That Midget production.